Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to Love Adventure number 2 readings. The last time I did love readings was about 3 or 4 months ago. It was like back in June of this year. So it's time for an update. Now, these are timeless, of course, but love is such an amazing adventure into knowing who we really are. So we're going to jump in and see what's coming next in our adventure of love. If you want to check out the previous ones, I will throw a link to the playlist for the Love Adventure number 1 at the end. So if you want to go check those out, feel free to do so. But let's go ahead and jump in and see what is in store for you. All right, my Virgos, so this is your love adventure reading for the next 3 months. We're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Rumi Oracle. And these are going to represent just what the Creator wants you to know overall for the next 3 months. And your love adventure. So it could be the overall energies, overall theme, or just what the Creator wants you to know. So for our Virgos, what do you want them to know about this next? Okay, 3 months. Boom, right off the bat. And you've got the Whirling Goddess, number 30. That's beautiful picture there. And number 30 breaks down to a 3, which reminds me of the Empress, the Major Arcana. It's about new birth. It's about creativity and passion for life. Usually, like the Empress will be, pregnant, and which means about this new birth, or that you're birthing things and things are growing, within you. Things are changing and coming into your life. So I really love that. And let's take a look here and see what beautiful message comes from here. Now, there's a little bit of a story in here, and I'm going to read that. So it'll be story time with Bretta Zen for a moment, so I appreciate that. But the quote from Rumi is, "Lose your head. Not a single thread that has a head can go through the eye of the needle." And then the little message from Rumi says, "Come, my love, are you dizzy yet? If you can still find your feet, then that is okay with me. But if you can still find your head, then I will take issue." There is a great dance, but it cannot be danced with choreographed steps. No, this great dance demands a response rather than an initiation, a reaction rather than a direction. So let us disassemble and lose our heads to the great music, the rhythm held steady in our beating hearts. Our feet shall be moving, while our minds, inadequate to the task, take the night off. It's a beautiful poetic way of saying, you get out of your head and have some fun. Go with the flow of the music rather than thinking that it's a line dance, that you have certain moves that you need to dance. It's more of, what do they call that? Expressive dance. I can't think of it right now, but you know what I mean, where it's creative dance, where they just go with what they are feeling is in the beat of the music. They're interpretive dance, that's what it is, because they're interpreting and allowing that to flow through rather than this is how you do the dance. It's not like a specific choreographed ballet or like a country line dance, or something like that. And then it goes on to say here, it says, there is somewhere you're meant to be. It is here, now, in this moment. There's a gift right under your nose, and fragrant wine in your glass, gleaming red as the most precious rubies. To be here now, you must pass through the keyhole. But your head will tell you this is not possible unless the door is unlocked, even though your body is passing through the keyhole of that locked door into the endless world beyond. Leave your mind to be in its struggles for a moment. Without you laying witness to it, your mind will become like the dog howling for his master's return, even as he steps out the front door. Frustrated temporarily, he will chew on some shoes, then fall asleep peacefully until his master returns. So leave your mind trusting, chewing a little until you are truly through the keyhole when it can rest. Leave it be instead. Come dance with me. This oracle brings you a message. You're at the point of growth where your mind can hold you back rather than urge you forward. If you have, like so many, used your mind to support you, to shore up your sense of self in the world, and to gain a sense of certainty about how the world works, then this is no easy leap. It will seem as though you're being asked to pass through the keyhole. Of course, your mind will stop and argue for all the reasons why the door should be opened instead of remaining closed, making the task seem so much harder than it needs to be, but this is the mind in resistance. Don't place too much stock in the claims that life should be other than it is. You're being asked to dance rather than understand, to lay the thoughts to rest and to come alive. It is the bravest, most trusting soul that dares put the mind to one side and say, "Tonight we dance, my heart and I, in the great rousing music of the beloved's beating heart, and I will not miss one step." And to awaken the next day and do that all over again and again and again. You are ready, you see, sweet soul dancer. You're ready to live beyond what you know, to have it not matter if you don't understand how life can work itself out, or how it could be that someone so normal and ordinary as you and I could also be magnificent, wild, and divine. The need for answers and plans, assurances and explanations is passing out of your world now. You are not to wait for permission, for explanation, or even for another dance partner, for I am already inviting you on to the great dance floor. You are to let go of any stigma around not knowing. When someone asks you, "What are you going to do next?" or "How are you going to manage?" you are given this divine mandate. With relish, with relish, reveal the truth. I do not know. That's awesome. Know nothing and dance, sweet soul, for all will unveil itself to you in perfect harmony and timing. Your heart shall create the steps in response to the music of the spheres, happening now, alive and spontaneous and free. This oracle brings you a special message. If there's an issue, apparently unsolvable or unknowable in your life now, the divine is handling it. The divine is in the middle of it, working through the knot and unraveling it. Fear not. Do the sacred ritual and give yourself permission to take the night off from worry. Repeat this heavenly prescription daily as needed. And the sacred honoring ritual says, say aloud, quote, "I give my heart permission to lead this dance. I give my mind some time off. No more worry or doubt, planning or resisting. Instead, I surrender. Instead, I open. Instead, I allow. I allow. I allow." And all unfolds with perfection, divine timing, and the miracle of grace. With Rumi as my soul witness, so be it. And you have completed your honoring ritual. Beautiful. I really love that. So yeah, definitely mind, you get to get your give your mind the night off and let your heart lead you in the dance, and that is beautiful. So it's really, these next 3 months is a lot about connecting to your heart and the love that you have inside you in this moment, and focusing on the now and not worrying, I love that. Let your mind howl as you leave it, for a bit. It'll chew on the shoe and then it'll go to sleep once you're through the keyhole on the other side, enjoying the moment and doing the dance. And then when you come home, your mind will be waiting there, wagging its tail, excited for your return. But you'll be different, and you'll probably bring your heart home with you, to continue to be a focus in your mind as well, right? All right. And then we're going to pull a card here from this Crystal Medicine Oracle. Well, that one's going to show itself early here. This is going to be what helps you get out of your mind and move into your heart. And that is Celebration. Beautiful card there. And Sacred Ceremony is the medicine, which we just actually read. And red jasper is the crystal that helps you with that. And that's the number 4, which the number 4 is very much a like this grounding, solid feeling. You think of 4 solid legs on a table. It makes the table very solid. So it's this very stable place, and it really feels celebration. I'll read from the book here too. And don't worry, it's not as long as that one, but it's definitely this feeling of focusing on gratitude and a dance, celebration, right? And there you are. You're up doing the dance right there. Perfect. So celebration, you have attracted this card into your awareness at this time of celebration. The journey of life has its ups and downs, and at times we feel we're constantly striving for the next goal. You've now entered a phase of celebration, and it's time to acknowledge your achievements. You've been putting a lot of energy into your projects and doing incredibly well, but today it's time to recognize how far you've come and how amazing you are. Throughout history, celebration has been a big part of life, with ceremonies created to acknowledge things such as harvest times and rites of passage. People through the ages understood that celebration was an important part of the ending of a cycle and an opportunity to receive the fruits of their labor. Have you been striving and achieving and not honoring yourself in the process? Do you feel like all you do is work and never play or dance? Are you always serious? Have you lost the magic in your life? Well, now it's time to stop for a moment and bring in the energy of joy and celebration. It's extremely important that you take time to give back to you, to say thank you for who you are in this world and all you bring to the table. Like we talked about the number 4, to the solid table. It's easy to burn out and lack the energy and motivation to continue if you don't have times of celebration. What do you do that allows you to feel celebrated? Take yourself on a holiday, organize a night out with your friends, or go and buy yourself a present. Woohoo! Whatever it is, make sure to give back to you. It's time to celebrate and rejoice in being you. Love it. And then the medicine, like we talked about, is Sacred Ceremony, which is hilarious that it was fitting so much with this card that we had the Sacred Ceremony at the end of this card that it didn't even dawn on me. These are 2 completely different decks by 2 completely different people. And you had a Sacred Ceremony that it specifically mentioned and that I read for you to do. Boom! Sometimes it takes me a moment for the light bulb to click in me. I learn so much as Spirit talks through me. People often say, wow, you know so much. I'm like, no. I've just learned to listen and, open up to allow the other side to speak. And I learned so much right along with you. So obviously. All right. So the medicine says, most tribes throughout history have practiced sacred ceremony as a way to celebrate and connect to and honor the divine source of all. Ceremony would also be practiced to deepen the connection of the tribe to the earth, during which they would receive her wisdom and her guidance. There are many types of ceremony, such as healing, rites of passage, passing over, marriage, initiation, celebration, and honoring of the earth or ancestors, moon cycles, and harvest times. These sacred ceremonies were a form of prayer and created an abundance of healing energy that was shared with the people, our earth, and all that inhabits her. Ceremony is defined in the dictionary as a formal, religious, or public gathering that celebrates an achievement or anniversary. So creating a ceremony or a ritual is an extremely important part of honoring the essence of the celebration. The tribes would dress up in ritual clothing and participate in sacred dances and play music to honor and celebrate the important events. There was a strict protocol of how the ritual was performed, and this would be handed down through the generations. So the importance of ceremony has been forgotten, and it's time to create your own ceremony to celebrate you. I love it. So definitely reiteration on the ceremony that we talked about on the end there, with the phrase that to say and to do is important, but also to create your own individual, whatever resonates with you, is definitely what is in store there. All right, next we're going to move into using these cards here. I've got 2 decks of this Love Oracle cards. One is I consider like the dark shadow, and then the other is the pink high heart. And what we're going to use the shadowed ones for is just for the creator to let you know what things your mind has been chewing on, like that shoe that was talking about. It's like these are what your mind has been having in focus for you. And then as you go through this ceremony and as you dance and let go and give into joy, what then the creator wants you to know about the emotions and about your love adventure. So this is almost kind of like where you're at coming into these 3 months. And this is where it's going to take you after you do the dance, you know. So let's see here. Give this a shot. All right, creator, what do you want our Virgos to know about? Just what are their minds chewing on? Whoa. This is probably true. We're not going to go through all those, though. But that's their hilarious way of saying, yeah, Virgos, you have a lot on your mind. What aren't they chewing on? But let's focus on the most important things that you want them to know. Okay. Yes, so they said just these top 3. And you got love call. So it says, someone expresses love, a message of love, thinking of you and letting you know. Because this is what they're chewing on, this is what... it's like this hope that you have, this desire, this need that you feel, this expectation that you have. And so this will be not only just, people who call you on the phone, but it's texting, it's, emails, it's how they communicate to you. And I just really feel like there's this lack. You feel like there's this lack of this happen in your life. So, that people aren't expressing their love for you, that you don't get messages of love, you don't think people are thinking about you, and you don't feel like people let you know enough about how much they love you. And really this appreciation of things that you do. There's this, because you're earth signs, you have this deep grounding and this very mother nurture, and a lot of that, all that thinking that you do, all those cards that came out, that has to do with how you can care for others, how you're taking care of others. Virgo is also very much about health and body as well. That's kind of the journey, but it's this nurturing of others. It's like this very much like your body is like everyone's your children, whether they're your real children or not. You feel like almost like Mother Earth, and that everyone is who you're supposed to take care of as if they were your own child. When they go through something, it's like your own little baby's going through it, and you're just like, oh my gosh, you're so so drawn in, right, to that helplessness, where a baby is crying and you don't know what's wrong, and you're trying to comfort it, and it doesn't have a dirty diaper, you just fed it. Is it teething? What's going on with it? You can't figure it out, and it's that helplessness, right? And that's kind of what I feel is like you give so much inside, at least this is your perception, is that you give so much to everyone in the world to try to help their lives be better, and you don't get a whole lot of that back. It's like you do all the calling out and the expression outward, but the phone doesn't ring back this way in the way that you want it to. And then you have abundance. Woohoo! And that says, keep a positive mindset, manifest exactly what you want, gratitude, bliss. And so, again, abundance is something that your mind is focused on. Always wanting to make sure you have enough. And again, not just enough for you, but enough so that you can give to everyone else and be that caregiver you think you're supposed to be. Mother Earth's little assistant. I'm going to help Mother Earth with everything. Or like I used to say, God's little sheriff. We have a little sheriff's badge we made, and we wear it and go, I'm helping God. And God's like, that's cute. I really don't need help. It's like when a little 2-year-old is helping you do the dishes. It takes twice as long, right? But that's the feeling. So, it's about this abundance that you're looking for in life, and you, your mind's always concerned about it and always checking in on it and wanting to make sure all that. And then you have cassette, and this is outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. That's not Virgo at all. I say that sarcastically because it is. But that's actually all humans. We all have a part of ourselves that's the thinker. Just your sign spends a lot of time in that. And I kind of look at this as like this, the old movies that you're always playing over in your head, and it's the soundtrack to those movies. And so it's that music or those messages and that self-talk that's always playing in your head, replaying over and over and over again what happened in the past, especially those things that were not comfortable for you because you are trying to make sure they don't happen again. And so all this is the mind trying to protect its little childish self, trying to take care of itself, right? So let's move on. And this is your rose quartz. This represents your higher heart, the heart of unconditional love. I'm just going to take a quick sip of coffee here. Thank you. Now we'll see that as you leave your mind and as you get out of your mind, let it howl, let it chew, let it go to sleep. And as you enjoy this celebration, as you enjoy this dance and enjoy this joyful feeling when you go and you do this and you let go and you flow like with the music, this new music you've never heard before. And so you have no idea how to dance to it, but you're going to dance with it in your own way and do your own interpretive, expressive dance. Then where does that bring you? All right, Creator, what do you want our Virgos to know about this? The dance. What about this dance? What does this dance bring for them? Okay. And that one and that one. Okay. Lightning. So sudden change. Shocking news, surprise, epiphanies, upheaval, transformation. Woo! Yeah, this is very much like the Tower moment, which in tarot is a beautiful message that comes with that. And it is all about that, all this things we experience here, the shadow things. Before we come down here as a soul, we determine who we're going to be as this avatar, what strengths, what opportunities, what lessons we want to experience, and what we're going to look like, and blah, 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 blah. And this is when we're going to start the game, and this is when we're going to end the game and leave the game. And here's all the stuff I want to experience as I'm going along in life. And within each one of those things, I still, as the character, get to choose, am I going to choose emotions of extreme fear or extreme unconditional love, right? Am I going to be in the mind about it, or am I going to be in the heart about it, or anything in between? And as we go through all that, there are situations in our life, like there's a circumstance in our life that's here, like it can be a person or like a job or situation or a possession of some kind. And if that's still in our life, we wouldn't be able to experience these other things we want to up until we leave the game. And so we will get this Tower moment where this thing will be removed out of our life for us. Now, we also get a countdown, and if we're in tune with spirit, we'll hear the countdown of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lightning bolt to remove this thing. And we can choose to remove it ourselves between here, because sometimes the Tower card in some decks will show someone leaping from the tower, other people being blasted out of the tower. And so when you leap out of the tower yourself, that's when you're removing it out of your life. But this is when we wanted to experience right up to that and get blasted out of the tower, and then that thing is removed out of our life. And one of the epiphanies that we realize with that is that life happens for us. It doesn't happen to us. And with that is mighty powerful, because you're able to let your mind rest when you realize it doesn't have to help the universe control everything, that everything is unfolding beautifully and perfectly, and you can take time to dance and celebrate and enjoy each moment. So I love that. That came up here for you. And then you have the heartbroken, which this is about one of the epiphanies you learn, that you cannot be truly deeply hurt. You really cannot be truly sad. You really cannot be separated. You really cannot be broken up with. You really cannot be feel lost. You cannot truly grieve. You cannot truly mourn. This is all the experience of the human character, and that is not who you are. Your true self is this powerful, supernatural, eternal being, spirit being of unconditional love, right? And so our heart cannot be broken, but that's a beautiful story. We come down here to experience what it might feel like to have our heart broken. The heartbreak feeling, that pinch in your heart where you feel like someone just stabbed it with a needle or a knife or a sword. Sometimes it feels like that. But that is our body striking and sparking into fight or flight, because we're fearing something. An emotional monster just scared us, right? It's something that happened that makes us question our lovability. We're fearing that we're going to get rejected, or we're fearing that we have been rejected, and now what does that mean about us? And so that fight or flight kicks in, and that's what heartbreak feels like. So each time we face a rejection, our heart has this little in it. Of course, the extent of that feeling depends on what the situation is. Like if, they didn't have, the type of Oreos I wanted at the store. Small heartbreak. Well, it depends how badly you wanted it. But, finding out your partner of 6 months has been sleeping with other people when you agreed that it was just you together, that can feel like someone just tore your heart in two. So it depends on our belief around whatever story it might be. But the myth of being heartbroken is something we experience only in this play. But when you realize, when you connect to your higher heart, that it cannot be broken, then that changes your whole viewpoint of life, right? You're not afraid to take chances and just go dance. And then you've got talking. And this interested parties, you're conversing more, you're waiting messages arrive, text, call, email, hoovering. So I really feel with this card here, it actually came up in the last reading I did, which it was reflective. It was a dark moment over here where it was like you're waiting in a coffee shop and someone was supposed to meet you there, and they're 30 minutes late getting there, and you're only going to be hanging out for like an hour and a half. And so they arrive 30 minutes late, and they say they have to leave 30 minutes early, so you get to see them for 30 minutes. And you got there 30 minutes early, so you've been there an hour, you see them for 30 minutes, and then they're gone. And then you spend several hours after that questioning, why are other things more important than you? Why are they just trying to fit you in between the important things? Am I not interesting? Am I not attractive? Why don't they love me? Why don't they like me? All this stuff. And that's if this is about romantic love. Also, love, of course, is not limited to just romantical. This can be friendships, family, even like when you look at pets, and I don't like calling them pets, like your animal companions in your life. It can, all this love can impact all those areas of your life, as well as your relationship with the other side, with whatever your beliefs with that, right? But I really feel that this becomes this whole different thing where you take your laptop to the coffee shop and you're working on what you're doing, what you're passionate about, what you love, and you are okay with whether they show up or they don't show up. And when they do show up, you don't even look at the clock. You just close your laptop. You say what you're doing, right? And close your laptop and have coffee with them and conversate and have a good time. And they're like, oh, I need to leave early. And you're like, all right, great. Have time. Whatever you're going to go do, enjoy. Hug a hug. Kiss, kiss. Bye-bye. And back to your laptop, doing what you love, what you enjoy, and what you want to do. Not taking it all personally, because your love is coming from inside. Your worth, your completeness, and your wholeness is coming from your high heart, not from, this need of external validation and external love coming in. So I love that card comes in that you're not waiting around. Like it says, awaiting messages arrive. Over here in our mind and our thought, especially with this love call card that we had, I'm expecting these calls. I need these calls, So when, if you ever do receive a call that you were expecting, it leaves you just, your expectation was met. Over here, when it happens, because you're already full, anything you get is abundance. It's above your expectations. This is just meeting expectations. You see the difference in the feel of that? That's what we're seeing there. All right. Next, we're going to pull some cards here from the Everyday Tarot and just see what else the Creator wants you to know about these next 3 months. All right, Creator, what else do you want our Virgos to know? Okay. Anything else? Okay, thank you. Okay. I laugh because this is everything I was just talking about. This is the expectations card. I was talking about the feeling of fight or flight, that you might be heartbroken. And those are the swords going through it. This is exactly the card we were talking about. So this is going to go over here because this represents everything that we're afraid of, everything that we have felt in this earthly love, in this earthly place there. Yeah. And then here we have this strength card. And this is all the story of, this is the dog. It's actually a lion, but this is the dog over here that is hungry and growling and wanting our attention and feeling it's the one that thrives and is influenced and impacted by this 3 of Swords. And again, with the 3 and the 3, we get very creative about the stories we apply to what's happening in our life. But what it's wanting all along is it's hungry for love. it's chewing on all these shoes and all that, but what it's really, it's hungry and thirsting is for the love that our higher self brings. You can see the infinity symbol here. This is our infinite self. She is the one that brings unconditional love to the lion. And this is that balance of heart and mind. Like when I was talking about before, how when you come home, your brain would be waiting for you, but you bring love home with you. And it calms your mind. All these thoughts and all these expectations, when you bring this love into them, it calms it down and makes it this roaring lion of love instead of a roaring lion of fear, right? And so I'm going to put that one right here. And then you have the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups, she, of course, cups are emotions, and being the queen of the emotions, she even brings more divine feminine energy into it, more feeling into it. And she is the kind of like the high priestess, because the high priestess is the one that rolls the veil and dives into the unconscious, and you can even see in her hair the universe is there. She's here, she hears from and connects with the higher realms. And she does that through this Ace of Cups that she holds in her hand. And what that Ace of Cups is, you can call it the chalice, you can call it the Holy Grail, but it's filled with the energy of the living waters. And the living waters are the unconditional love of the Creator. And that's through your high heart here. So this, that's what your higher self brings to your mind, to your human side. And this love is just what's overflowing in your life. And this also means that you are communicating with your higher self and with all that realm. On the other side, you have this huge, massive group of beings of unconditional love and light. You have the Creator, you have Spirit, the Holy Spirit. You've got your guardian angels, which we'll have a card here in just a quick sec here. Your guardian angels. So you got your angels and your spirit guides and your loved ones who are on the other side and your ancestors. You have this massive group of beings of unconditional love and light that are there, bringing you love, bringing you joy, bringing you answers that you ask for, whatever it might be. And I love this sacred ceremony. They are waiting and surrounding you and being there for you. And so I love that. And there's these three beings here watching you dance. And for me, when I saw that before, I thought of the Three of Cups, which is the celebration card. Itself. It's kind of like what it represents in the Minor Arcana of Tarot. And for me, there's a special meaning about it, that it is our posse on the other side. It's a reminder that we are never alone and that they're here with us and for us, just cheering us on with a chant of, we love you, we love you, we love you. And they're just waiting. They don't mess with our free will, so they will never, interfere. But if of your own free will, you connect with them and you ask them for answers and support, they give that to you. Yeah. And then you got the Seven of Wands. And wands are your fire energy, which also represent your spirit. And this just represents that you don't have anything to worry about. You don't have to defend. There might be individuals that get jealous or that try to bring you back down. Like, why are you being so joyful? Come back down and be miserable with the rest of us, because misery loves company. Come on. But you have reached this new plateau, this new place, this new fire, this joy, this new passion. And you don't have to worry about it. You can just be up there, and you don't have to worry about conforming and dropping down back to this old way, of feeling and being. You can dance and you can bring love. Like this one, you can bring love to that world, but you don't have to worry about going back down that hill. Unless you want to enjoy it and go for a little visit, then you go right ahead. But it will be because you want to do it, not because they drag you down with them, because they don't have that ability. Okay, and then, like I said, we're going to pull a card here from your guardian angels and just see what your guardian angels have to say to you. Okay, nope, not those. Okay, here's the one right here. And I'm going to show you these cards because they are beautiful. And you do have a guardian angel that from in there's no time in the other world, but in a way, the moment that your soul was created, a guardian angel chose to be created along right side with you and chose to be with you throughout your entire existence. Until your soul no longer exists, if it ever does end. But it's like, I am going to be with you always. And so you have a guardian angel that's always with you. You do have other angels that come in and out of your life that are experts in for different specific situations in your life, but you have one that's always with you. And you got miracle. And I'll let you see that, and then I'll read it. And it says, "Dearest one, even if all hope seems lost, let not hope slip away. For I, your guardian angel, am constantly by your side. Surrender all your concerns to me and trust in the healing power of love. Please believe that you are never alone. Together we shall work through each issue or situation which is of concern to you. All heals with the passing of time. Magic and miracles are about to manifest." So dance, right? Dance, dance, dance in celebration. Believe you are not alone and that everything will come into resolution in perfect timing. And then lastly, we're going to pull some cards here from the heart. And I'm taking this crystal, white crystal quartz or white quartz heart here, and I'm placing it over these thoughts and these shadows and these experiences, because this energy brings in this amazing clarity around these situations. And that as we go back and you fill with this love, when you go back and look at previous things that happened in your life, you see more with clarity that people's actions had nothing to do with you. And I know you're like, what? But they didn't. They had to do with themselves. They were reacting out of fear. If it was not a feeling of unconditional love they were given to you, then it was a feeling of fear that they were experiencing. And they were just trying to survive. They were in fight or flight mode. And that literally takes them out of their mind. And they had no idea what they were doing. And how they were impacting you. They were just panicking and they were in fear. And so when you realize that, you're like, okay, it's like when someone's panicking, like they're drowning and they're panicking, and you go over and they punch you, they slap you because their hands are flying all over the place. Or if there's, you're in a theater and there's a fire and people are just, fleeing and they run right over top of you, and they didn't even realize they were doing it. They weren't there anymore. Their body had taken over. Just realize that it's a lot of what happens, and that this crystal quartz allows you to look back over that and see your past in a whole different way, and you don't take it as personally as you did before. Right? So lastly, we're going to pull some cards here, what the Creator lastly has to say for you for this reading, for this next 3-month love adventure. And we'll see what else the Creator has to say. Okay. I feel like that one there and that one there. Okay, and first you have, "I embrace the love and power of my cherished self. I honor my divinity." And I'm going to put that right here because here is your divinity coming down. Love that. And then, "I sing the beautiful song of my heart, clear and loud for all to hear." And I love that. So even while you're dancing, you could be dancing to your own song, whatever brings you your heart joy, you're expressing that in that dance, in your dance of life. You're no longer trying to dance a line dance. You're expressing and dancing the song that's been living inside you, just yearning to get out. And then lastly, I see clearly actions of manipulation. I see the truth. And actually, so I'm going to move this over here, because this is about seeing clearly. You understand the actions of manipulation. You understand that they were because people were fearing what it meant about them, and they were trying to get love in whatever way they thought they could. But what a beautiful dance you're going to have the next 3 months. So let your old lion chew on whatever it's going to chew in your mind for a moment as you step out of your mind and into your heart, into your dance of love. I am loving this. Love, love, love. And just know as you go throughout each and every moment of this journey that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and I love you too. If you want to check out the first love reading I did, the Timeless Love Reading, that'll be linked up here or down here in a playlist at the end here. So you can check that out. And if not, I am totally okay with that. I appreciate you watching, and just know that I will be talking to you very, very soon. So until then, you take care. Bye-bye.